ever had. In fact, I'd say of all, I've received 1, 2, 3, 4 fanfics involving me fucking the hell out of someone. One with me being ingested by sugar tits, and a fifth one where someone actually wrote a book called The Mask of Omegon, which is a book on Amazon, which was done by an old friend of mine, which is really cool.
So you've just been getting a lot of weird shit, haven't you?
The last 2 years, but I haven't actually. Don't generally make it a point to read it into video form.
Oh, I'm honoured then.
Well, I might do the others as well.
Well, I mean, to be fair, this is all Ed's fault because he found the rum on Amazon to start off with.
It's his fault. Yeah, I remember now because we were looking at the Google image, weren't we?
Yeah, so I blame him.
On one of these, I blame him too for me procreating with. Spoiler alert: procreating with Ron Jeremy. I'm not sure what to say about that now.
Oh my god.
So what's been going on with you guys then?
Nothing much really. I started rehearsals tonight, but I got time.
Rehearsals?
I'm a part of a local theater group. I'm playing trombone for them.
That explains the avatar.
Yeah, just a tad. I've been.
Yes.
When did I start? I was just thinking about this the other day. Was that like 10 years ago? Yeah, I started playing trombone 10 years ago, and then trumpet like 4 years before that.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
What about you guys?
That, I've just been laughing at the colleges in the States.
Oh, you're so exciting.
I wish I could say something interesting, but literally the last
Done anything.
3 weeks have just been crazy with work.
We're getting prepared to decorate, so.
We actually, sort of slowly getting to the process where I can decorate because now we found out we can keep the house. I finally bothered to buy a bed, which I haven't had for about 9 months. I've been sleeping. In fact, you see the armchair that my avatar sat in? I've been sleeping in an armchair near identical looking like that for the last 9 months because I'm all about that health. The worst part is
that can't do your back any good.
Oh, don't talk to me about my back, fucking. The worst part is there are 5 dogs in this room with me at the moment in the dining room, and they're all sleeping in a little corner. But when I go to sleep later, 3 of them will be. I will wake up with 3 of them on me, and my legs will be dead.
That's what dogs do.
But they're not keeping me warm.
They're stopping the blood circulation.
They might be hurting you, yes.
I've got a bed and I've sort of got the drawers. I just need to get a desk because a desk. I need to get one of those because the one I'm using currently is not good enough. But decorating, fun, yay!
It's not.
What were you waiting on for the house?
We've been putting it off for years.
Yeah, ditto. 4 years 5 years now. I've been putting this off because I came back here in 2012, and that's 5 years. Yeah, 5 years. And the room was not decorated. Well, somebody had, in their infinite wisdom, had the room decorated, and then decided, I don't like this wallpaper, so I'm just going to pull it off the wall, but do it half-assed, and not when my son comes home. So for 5 years, and obviously for other reasons, I didn't bother decorating it because the room's too small and I couldn't be bothered.
It's a lot of effort to decorate.
Yeah, I've been in this house for a year and I've barely decorated anything. I didn't even bother to repaint anything because it was just all like a slight off-white. It was like, My brother painted his room.
In my old flat, when I moved in, the people before us had carpeted and wallpapered the bathroom.
What the fuck? Why would you carpet a bathroom?
I know. It was just.
Artiface is hassling me on Skype. Can I just say, fuck you, Artiface? She's hassling me on Skype and in the chat. Fuck you. Carry on.
The irony was, I lived there for 3 years, and it wasn't until we decided to move out that we decided to do the bathroom. And this is my ex-partner. She said, let's not bother with it. Let's just get the whole thing done. There's no point just putting laminate down. We'll just leave it as the way it is. And when we moved out, we thought, all right, we'll give it a quick coat of paint and then put some laminate down. And it was 1,000 times better. And we lived there for 3 years with wallpaper like peeling off the walls and mold and.
Council houses in the United Kingdom are some of the worst houses for mold because they're all built at different periods of time. So obviously, like in my town, we have houses dating back to Tudor era, and you get closer and closer to present, and all the different houses progressively have less mold until you get to around the 1950s, where they built quick-built houses just after the wars. Lots of extra houses, but they're really shoddily made, and they build up mold really quickly. Now they're building new houses, and these ones look nice, but they're equally just as shoddy. They just look shiny, and they're just going to get mold as easily, if not quicker, than the ones that are older. And it's really bad.
So how long till you all run out of space to build houses?
I think we're already there.
The problem we've got is we can't go too much further out realistically because either we build on hills, or we take down what remaining trees we have, or we build on marshland, which can't be done, or we build up. That too. Or we build up, as in blocks of flats. That realistically would be the only other option, to go up rather than out.
We could live in a Blade Runner world in no time.
I wouldn't be surprised if we got to the point where everyone's existence is one room, like a prison cell, where we all end up living in a mega city.
I can't do that. I've got too much stuff.
Yes, Sam. I can't. I'm not binning all my vinyls. I'm just not doing it.
Have you read the book Neuromancer?
I've heard the book Neuromancer.
Yeah, I mean, their hotels in that book are basically coffins. Well, they call them coffins. They're just like a.
No, they exist.
Japan have them. They're like cubic little cell things with like a glass door at the end.
Yeah. You just need to sort of climb in. You've got a little cleaning area with wet wipes, and you've got a TV mounted in the ceiling.
Now then is abolish claustrophobia.
It's all the space you need. You can play games. You can watch TV. Sleep.
I'm far too materialistic to have a tiny little coffin-sized space.
Yeah. Actually, in the chat, someone's mentioned the show Grand Designs. I have seen that show. They do some pretty impressive stuff. Although, if I recall correctly, quite a number of them have either sold their houses or gone bankrupt. Stop spending over budget, dickheads. Someone did build a house. This is something I thought they would do here more, was that they'd be more sort of environmentally friendly. Build like a Teletubby house into a mountain or a hill or something. And someone did do that. I don't know if they're still there, but they sort of dug out part of a hill and built the front of the house into the problem with what they'd done, though, is they had to have a lot of air filtration units at the back of the house because it was further into the hill, to make sure that everyone inside the home had enough air to breathe.
That'd be quite cool. You can turn it into like your own little hobbit hole.
I would love to live in a hobbit hole.
Aren't you too big to live in a hobbit hole?
Too tall.
It looked so cool, though.
You just your back would go to shit, though, even more than it already has.
My back is absolutely fine. I'll just spend my time crawling. I'll just crawl. It's fine.
Still be a baby.
Basically, yes. But I will be in a hobbit hole. Worth it.
I'd rather have a castle.
Yeah.
There are some. Well, we have lots of those.
You know, in Gandalf, when he's in the hobbit hole. Pardon me.
Oh yeah.
Over the weekend, I watched. I went up to the loft looking for some stuff, and I found my the extended versions of those 3 films, and I was watching it all weekend. And because I'd bought them, but I'd never seen them, and there's so much good shit they missed out on. They managed to cut it down into the original film.
I don't think I've actually seen the extended version of any of them.
I have.
Versions
It's long. Just be prepared.
Oh yeah. Okay,
But
I
then
watched it over
I-
3 days because I didn't have the time to watch 18 hours worth of footage or something.
Yeah, something like that. It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
but I mean, I've read the books
Over 6
several
discs.
times, so
Yeah, I used to when the films first came out, there was a magazine that was in line with Games Workshop, and it was releasing miniatures to paint figures from the film, because obviously Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, very popular in Games Workshop.
Hmm.
The game though, because it relied on courage and willpower, whereas I like the idea of just smashing shit up. But it was quite nice to get my own little fellowship, like Boromir, which when you watch the extended films, you find out it's actually a lot cooler than he was portrayed.
he was quite cool in the books, from what I remember.
Yeah, he was. He was actually pretty cool
One
in
of
the
my
film.
favourite characters.
He was very talented, a very good fighter, but obviously he was portrayed as just some obsessed little fuck.
Yeah.
Miniatures as well in the Fellowship of the Ring miniature set for Games Workshop. His miniature.
I remember seeing those in the Games Workshop window, actually.
Yeah, I
used
once went to.
I used to paint a lot of the miniatures, and it was brilliant being
Yes,
a
I know.
girl and
Yeah.
going in there.
Oh yeah, there's
They
always like
fall
one
over
girl,
themselves to
token-
help.
Token girl. Yes, I remember going to a conversion day once, and they had this box of bits and bobs, and they poured it out, and they said, "Right, why don't you have a go? Convert something and make the most powerful thing you could find." So I had a little rummage, and I found something. I put it on the table and said, "I'm not going to convert it, but I reckon Gimli will kick the shit out of every last one of your miniatures." And I just put Gimli down. He's not my favorite. I love Gimli. Portrayed by an incredibly tall man as well, which I think was brilliant.
Yeah, because that's the dude that he was in that Sliders, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's very tall.
Didn't he spend most of the filming on his knees?
Yeah, he did. And obviously they had to when they did the running scenes, they had like with hobbits, they had backups, they had replacements.
Didn't he play? Wasn't he in Indiana Jones as well?
I don't know. I was never a
Loads.
big fan of Indiana Jones.
What?
I know. I've already. I don't. Please don't unsuppport me. I already
Don't
lost
shut him.
one.
I saw that.
My delicate fifis.
Any reason given, or just disappeared?
I don't know. Didn't message me. I'll leave it at that because I'm not a harasser.
Oh, next week I have that Title IX Summit thing.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, so I'm going to go.
Are you going to get some footage of
Infiltrate.
this?
Yeah, it'll be a lot because it's going to be like 7 hours. Well, not the entire 7 hours, but for 2 days of talking heads. It'll be interesting. But I had to actually calculate what resolution I could store on my phone for like 7 hours because I only have like 12 gigs available. And the phone that I have doesn't have an external memory card.
I want to see if they see you filming and then start harassing you and threatening you with security.
I have a way of getting around that, I think, because I'm going to be wearing a suit. So
No, what you want to do? I want
So
you
what I'm going
to
to put it. I'm
um,
just going to put the. I'm just going to leave the phone in the pocket. It just happens to have the camera peeking out over it. It's not like
I want to
It's not
see-
like phones nowadays. I have the. It's not like they have a little red light or something saying that they're filming or anything, and it's a public space, so I'm not have to
What I
worry
want to see you wearing your suit all nice and smart, and then if they do, just pull out some shoe polish and then paint your face and say, "I'm trans black."
about-
But it's
create a scene.
perfectly legitimate. It's how all black people look, really, isn't it? Like if you draw them with shoe polish and a brush. I'm kidding. Fucking hell.
That's gonna get quite wide.
Oh, I don't care. I really don't.
You've given up.
Why bother? I see how some people do it on Twitter with like a 35-minute video and they'll take a 4-second audio bite out of it.
true.
Congratulations, you've successfully quote mined.
People.
It's like the something I found out recently, courtesy of Otterface. I didn't know that Sadiq Khan didn't say about that part and parcel living in a big city quote, because it's not what he said at all.
Oh.
He was talking, and that astonished me. His full quote was talking about vigilance and security, and he didn't say terrorism is part and parcel of living in a big city, and that stunned me. I've got the whole minute clip somewhere, but I can't play it. Fuck that.
The Macron did
That
say
was
that, the Macron did say that, like, or something about French culture. Not really.
Yes, he did. But Sadiq Khan did not say what he's been accused of saying. And it's annoying because now that's going to be, people are still going to ignore that until it finally gets drilled into a lot of people's heads.
Yeah.
That he's actually, even though he's a prick, and a powerless schmuck in a massive city of idiots that are so well integrated and tolerant and loving, that he didn't say shit like that.
It's funny.
It's
It's
exciting.
funny. Today when I was in town, I went up to St Paul's to eat my lunch, and it's interesting just to sit and listen to little snippets of conversation as people go past you. I swear, all the events that happened in London over the weekend, that came up more times than you would have. I actually expected it to.
People are actually talking about it.
Oh yeah. Because I mean, just walking through the city and just listen to people, because obviously it's very crowded, so you catch bits and pieces. I wish I could remember more and write something down and create like a narrative, from other people's conversations. That would be really cool. I'm just didn't have a good enough memory.
Last time I went through London, I was stuck at Charing Cross because I was meant to get on a train to go back to Deal, and the train station was closed. So the train and the operators that told me that I'd be fine at 2 a.m. or 1 a.m, wherever it was, lied to me. As I walked around Charing Cross and the surrounding areas, listening to a lot of drunk people talk. That's the extent of my conversations with crowded people on a night out. I ended up spending 2 hours in the McDonald's just down the road, drinking their very low-grade tea.
For how long?
Well, I had to sleep. I couldn't keep my eyes open, so I went around the corner and found one of our budget hotels. Was it Premier or something, or Travel Lodge or whatever? They, for 5 hours, essentially, charged me £50.
Oh wow.
That's bad in London, though.
I'll be honest, I didn't even bloody sleep. The bed felt like a prison. I swear it. The frame was like a metal thing with lots of metal bars going across it. I honestly thought I was going to be executed on it. I slept for 2 hours. I couldn't even keep my eyes shut.
I'll tell you
know why? Because the hotel was just outside a fucking nightclub, and the neon lights were blaring through the windows and through the curtains. Fuck.
You just had a terrible night.
I honestly, if anything, it just puts me off living in a big city. I lived in Norwich for 6 years, but I lived outside the big city area, which at best wasn't even that bad anyway. London's a different entity entirely.
I lived in Bristol for 7-8 years, and although it's a big, busy city, it doesn't have the same sort of feel. There's no way I could live in London. I'd end up killing people.
Yeah.
I'm just not a patient enough person to deal with it.
The fact that it takes you hours just to get across like 2 miles. I don't think I could do it.
The fact that I'm broken as well.
Well, it took me once to get across, halfway across one of the bridges in London, leaving London Bridge to the train station to cross, I would assume, London Bridge. Now I know the bridge's name. It took me about 20 minutes because the traffic was so bad and there were so many people on the paths. Just to get onto that replacement bus I may have mentioned to you guys before, to get to Liverpool Street, which I'd never seen from the outside before. Looked strange. Stupid London.
I'll tell you a little story. When I went to New York once. This is 2008.
God, New York's such a terrible to travel through and around.
Yeah, well, I got on the wrong underground tube, and I ended up
Subway.
Subway, and I ended up in I think it was I ended up in Harlem.
Oops.
Yeah,
A different district entirely.
yeah, it was a fast train that just shot me straight up to the top of Manhattan. I was like, oh, all right. And I got the map out. I thought, okay, it's not that far to get back. It's only a few blocks. So there's me, about 8, 9 o'clock at night, walking through Harlem with my bag, with all my all my stuff.
Please tell me you were in full steampunk gear going through
No.
Harlem.
This was I was still in. I actually went out to New York to go and train at one of the Gracie academies.
Oh,
Jiu-jitsu.
I wanted to see you go past a black neighborhood dressed up as some Victorian steampunk idiot.
No,
I
but
want to
I-
see
I-
how quick someone pulls a gun out on you.
So
was
this
pre-
guy came up to
steampunk.
me actually, and he was like, "What are you doing, man?" I was like, and I all I could do is just go ultra British and go, "I don't know what you're talking about. I'm really sorry. I must go." Oh!
You pretentious twat.
I just
Wow.
thought if I go really British, it sounds really disarm him, and then I can run away quickly.
You can just confuse the
Amazing.
because nobody expects the British.
So actually, when I was at
I love
when I
that.
was I went there in like 1999. I went to New York, and and I thought it'd be really funny for that entire trip to pretend to be really, really posh. So, Hard Rock Cafe. Oh, hello there. Could I have a coffee, a beer, please? Oh God,
A beverage.
a beverage.
Wow.
You'd be so kind as to pour me one of your finest beverages.
Got a beer.
Unbelievable. I love that.
I think the thing
I've
is, I
seen
was
people
only
do that with some of my old friends did that with chavs when they're getting very leery. You then go ultra British on them, and it kind of throws them. Unless they get violent, in which case just backhand the cunt until he cries.
I don't know. I managed to scare a group of them the other day. I was ill. I was lying on the sofa, and Poppy jumped up on the windowsill and was barking at them out the window. So they started making barking noises back at her. They didn't see me lying on the sofa, so I just sat up and screamed at them to fuck off. And they looked so shocked and just ran.
Nice.
That's hilarious.
Brilliant.
I just remembered something. When I was in New York, I went up to a guy and said, "Excuse me, can I bum a fag?"
Oh my god. Oh my god. You didn't.
Did
Oh my god. Oh no.
Can I just add, this is before I met him.
Yeah, this
Oh.
is
Camera. Oh, they're doing amazing.
understandably he didn't say yes.
Oh. I love that. That's brilliant. Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh my god.
How did that guy react when you told him this?
I can't remember. It was a long time ago, but he like I said, he didn't say yes.
Ah,
Definitely remember that bit.
this was
I think he might have gone like,
lost in translation.
do whatever do whatever you want to do, mate. And actually, I had long. It was actually staying in the YMCA, and I had long black hair at the time. I was standing at the in the lobby, and this I think the security guard came up and said, "Excuse me, miss, can you move, please?" And I turned around like, "What, mate?"
Actually, that has actually happened to be before at a gig, and I've stood at the bar, and someone has said, "Oh, babe, can you move out of the way from me?" Oh, fuck off, you filthy cunts.
She just turned around and said, "Sure, darling."
All right, treacle. I think it's one of those moments where you want to try and either make them incredibly uncomfortable or just play along. I'd probably go with the really uncomfortable. I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
I should just turn around and blow them a kiss.
Oh no,
Oh,
you
God.
should say, turn around like, "Are you assuming my gender?"
Oh, you assume my yes.
Why, yes.
It'd work now, of course. That'd be perfect.
Actually, it happened another time when I was in Bracknell and in the Manor, the Manlis pub near the Man. Exactly the same thing happened. The guy came up, was behind me in the queue and, "Excuse me, love." Turned around and I was like, I can't remember what I said. Damn, it was a long time ago. That was back in the 90s. Something. I think I played along. I was like, "Oh, all right, darling, come on."
That's great.
I know a few guys like my sister's boyfriend. We will sometimes greet each other as "all right, darling," "all right, treacle," "all right, buttercup," "all right, pumpkin," that kind of crap because it's just amusing as fuck. But yeah, exactly. I just fuck around. I don't generally make it a point though to greet anyone with those.
I've noticed that the more tired I get, the more cockney I get.
And the more
really?
angry. Yeah, when you get angry, you get really cockney. It's brilliant.
I don't know how to do angry apart from cockney angry.
Are you from that area of London?
No, I mean I grew up and I told you I went to private school and a very pretty good education, and I had a very plummy accent for a very long time. I was like, "Hello, my name's my name," and and as time wore on,
For those in the chat, his name is in fact my name. That is actually
name.
Mr. My Name.
Hello, my name. I think I've been doxed already by Miss Fuculia. Already.
Only on the gift card letter to me that says "Enjoy Ron's juices." I can safely say, I did have a stiff drink last night. It burnt a little as it went down my throat. Got stuck there for a moment. I accidentally dribbled a little bit too.
That's a waste of good rum.
The finish wasn't quite what I expected. It was overwhelming, in fact. It was definitely a mouthful.
Does it have a nice rounded finish?
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
I sat here with my brother-in-law, and we would sat here for a good 10 minutes just trying to think of as many puns as possible. And then I found out he vapes. Jeremy has vape juices too.
Really?
Oh yeah, and they got some names. One's called the Hedgehog. One is called the Hedgehog.
Yeah, because that's his nickname.
$14.99 for Ron Jeremy vape gel. Although I think I did tell him, based on consistency of what those vape oils are like and the consistency of rum, I think you can make a lot more cum jokes with the vape oil than you could with the rum.
Probably.
Yeah.
Although if I might get for his birthday, I might get him some and sneak it into his vape anyway and just say you're smoking Ron's juices. How'd you feel? Taking him in on a gaseous level.
That just sounds even more wrong.
Yeah, I was just trying to find a picture for a thumbnail for that reading, and it popped up as a recommended. I couldn't believe it.
That's great.
I'll have to. I'll just pull it up. Give me a second. Carry on talking, I guess.
You're gonna put up Ron's juices.
Oh yeah, Ron's juices. Ron Jeremy's coming soon. That's actually a slogan. I'm not kidding. Images.
I've just found a website that sells it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna screen share an image. So as you can see, Ron Jeremy has the vape oils. The fucking vape oils.
What's a YouTube tab you got there?
Yeah, I was watching a load of things earlier, and then I kind of just stopped watching them.
When you went to go take your nap.
Yeah.
Or pass out.
That was actually genuinely. That was when I went out earlier, and I came back, and I didn't close them because I started watching Arrow season 5. I thought I'd catch up with it.
Is it worth persevering with? Because we've watched a series and a half and got really bored of the whole 5 years on an island.
Yeah, the fifth season, as far as I'm aware, ends the whole island thing. So season 6, the new season that will be coming out this year, starting this year, September, I guess. I don't think we'll focus on the island so much as leaving, or if anyone survived, what happens to it.
You could do a really good drinking game.
Or every flashback, you have a drink.
No, but every time he says 5 years.
Oh God,
That would be a
No.
dangerous drinking game.
that
You
would
wanna
be
die?
bad. There was a really cheeky bit I saw in a episode earlier. Basically, Arrow's gone to a different city to recruit someone, and he's called Central City, where the Flash is. Talk to the police chief there, and the police chief's like, "Oh, I don't know if you're really the Arrow or just some guy with a modulator." So while he's doing that, Arrow's texting Flash, who runs in and sticks a post-it on the police chief's screen that says, "He's legit." I think that was quite a cheeky little. I like that.
I can't remember. Did we watch the second series of Flash? I can't remember.
No,
now.
we haven't yet.
Season 3 just concluded. Season 2, they made a few mistakes with season 2.
We're
The
kind
Zoom
of
arc, the Zoom story arc, kind of, yeah. And everyone knew Jay Garrick was in that cage. Everyone knew blah blah blah. It didn't work. Season 3 has a couple errors, but ties up the whole consequence story nicely. So I'm looking forward to them not having a speedster villain in season 4, but also what I would assume to be Flash Rebirth.
yeah, we're really behind on DC stuff.
I gave up on Supergirl because genuinely I'm not enjoying it at all.
We saw the trailer and we're both like, nah, not watching that.
Okay, so I downloaded because I wanted to buy it on DVD. I was like, do I buy the DVD? I'll watch it first. So I watched it. I downloaded season 1 and I watched every single episode. It was incredibly forced, not very good at all. I kind of struggled a lot with it. In fact, the only good parts I felt were when Superman was in it. Otherwise, I kind of struggled. Or when the Flash was in it. Otherwise, I kind of didn't like. They had Laura Benanti play a villain in it, and her mother, who's a twin sister, I think. She didn't do good. As a villain, her voice she projects this villain voice. Is just terrible and drives me insane. I'm a sexist, so I can say this.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm more Marvel than DC. So.
Marvel have not done. It took a while to get into their stride on the TV show. Legends of Tomorrow is not bad, and they'll bring another one. I think it's called Black Lightning next year. That should be interesting.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing the Spider-Man film though. It looks amazing.
Homecoming.
Yeah.
I only really want to
Wonder
see.
Woman film wasn't too bad.
Well, no one ever thought it was going to be bad. Nobody thought this. So when you see all these complaints, people say, "Oh, men don't like this and this and this." It's like, they're not complaining about it. You've just highlighted a couple issues, and it's not only men that have complained, but it's not really like a whole movement thing. I didn't know though that there was an attempt to make a male-only screening of something else, but there were no complaints at all, and I didn't hear about
Star Wars, wasn't it?
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I didn't know.
I
about
think there were
that.
complaints with it.
It was kind of quiet. I wished I'd heard about it. I didn't really
Well,
care too much about
the new Star Wars was just diversity.
rehash of the original.
I haven't
left and
seen.
right.
I haven't seen the most recent two, and I don't have any
Rogue One,
interest. In,
Yeah.
I don't have any interest in seeing them, to be honest.
Well, didn't BAFTA do something where, like, in order for a film to win an award, it had to have like some percentage diversity or something?
Probably.
Like in all stages. I thought I remembered that. Could be wrong.
I don't know. I saw Force Awakens, and I was never a big Star Wars fan. So when I saw it, the first thing I said afterwards, wasn't that just the first one?
It basically,
that's what I said.
instead of a Death Star, it was a Death Planet.
Yeah. So basically, it was that.
It was kind of.
See, Star
new
Trek's
hat with that
way
effect.
better.
Yeah, I prefer Star Trek. I watched Star Wars Rogue One, and I thought this, as a side story, is interesting, but otherwise, I don't really care too much about it. It doesn't.
I
Really...
enjoyed reading the expanded universe books.
I do think if they're going to do more expanded films, they should, because they need to focus less on the Skywalker family.
Yeah, well, instead they're going to be making a Han Solo movie, so.
And they're going to do Yoda, aren't they?
I always find they just lost the heart now. It just doesn't have the heart of the
Well, yeah,
because it's not a
Disney's
Lucasfilm,
going to
is it?
milk it for all they can.
I mean, you know, because Lucas's direction was so poor, I think the actors basically had to take it upon themselves to try and make something good out of it, and that's why they had such a good bond and chemistry.
Yeah.
Operation Turd Polish. Sorry, I'm a Star Trek fan.
I think they should remake Howard the Duck movie. Did you ever see that?
Howard the Duck.
Oh, it's a brilliant film.
That's amazing. I hope so.
Well,
You
they're going to run
really-
out of ideas soon, so I don't know what else they're going to do.
They'll get there.
They're just remaking everything, aren't they?
Oh yeah, I've seen lots of people complain about that. Can you please stop rebooting all these films and stop relying on superhero films to make your money, for fuck's sake?
Because there was a remake of Point Break fairly recently that kind of flopped completely.
I
Yeah.
didn't see it.
No, I think it might have been a straight to video job.
Well, they're essentially remaking The Mummy, in essence, aren't
Oh,
they?
yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that too.
They've been in
Brendan
the
Fraser did the first three, and now they're doing.
No,
they've done
they-
it with
not those
So-
ones. They're remakes of the old Universal Monsters films.
old Universal
But-
one. My mistake.
Like The Mummy, Bride of Frankenstein. There's a whole schedule of release for them. I kind of want to see it, but I think it's all going to be style over substance.
Yeah, it's just shots, shots of them destroying London.
Dude, they're doing a Top Gun 2.
Oh, dear.
Really?
It's going to be called Top Gun Maverick. And that's not a joke. That was announced.
Did all the decent
so
ideas get used up in the 80s?
I'm waiting for him to do then remake Hot Shots, which I maintain are some of the funniest things I'd ever seen. Hot Shots Part 2 was very funny.
Or Patois? Patois.
Oh, yeah, they're Patois. Patois. Oh, I love those films. That kick on the second one, where the two guys kick the guy's head at the same time and his head bends like rubber, that was brilliant.
I kind of
All
need
the
to go and rewatch it again to see if I find it funny because it was hilarious when I was a kid.
Oh, you don't want to spoil it for yourself. You know when you watch it again, it's not going to be funny at all.
We did that recently with probably last year. We rewatched Flight of the Navigator.
All right.
No, you should leave that as you remember it being.
Well, I remember when I first watched the very first time I watched Scary Movie when it first came out, and I thought the joke. It is. I remember when the first time he goes to have sex with that girl, and he pulls out the hedge clippers, and he starts soaring away, and then he explodes. He gets blown up, or she gets shot up onto the ceiling and stuck there. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I felt the same way, but I was smoking a lot of weed back then. I mean, I found Dude, Where's My Car funny.
Oh, remember
And
Cheech
Biodome.
Cheech and Chong, where they get pulled over by a police officer who's been driving behind their van that's made entirely of marijuana. And he then goes up to the door and he goes, "Can I have your hot dog?" And then he just starts dancing behind their car.
Oh.
That was some really weird shit. I got it either. I didn't understand. How do they make a car out of weed? Oh, strange fucks. I'd love to see him remake that though, but maybe do it out of meth crystal,
Topical.
right? I think it would also look really cool. Not very good on speed bumps though. I was actually playing for the first time. I went on first time in a long time. Went on to GTA 5 and I went online because I never play online much, and I had to go and steal for an online mission a meth lab. And I pull up and there's only two guys outside this meth lab van thing. I'm like, oh, this is easy. Drop them both. 50 guys spawn around them. Well, there's a mistake.
Oh. That escalated quickly.
Oh. That was painful. I actually got lucky to get in the van and get out, and then have to get onto a high point to snipe the shit out of every last one of them before they got to me.
But
But
it
hey,
works.
I got my meth lab. I got my $13,000. Yay!
Woo!
Like totes minted until someone kills me and my medical bills go through the roof again.
This
kind
is
of a common
life.
trend if you're on GTA 5 online. You just don't live long because people just kill each other all the time.
I mean, seems legit.
Yeah.
Have you played
What else is
Battlegrounds yet?
interesting going on? I haven't played Battlegrounds. No.
Yeah, that's quite frustrating.
I hear Big Dicko's hooked to it.
I
Very,
prefer
very
playing
addictive.
my strategy games as opposed to shooters or stuff like that.
It is sort of a strategy
like
game in a way because it's a sort of battle royale type of deal when you've got to drop in the right place to find the good weapons because you drop in
Mhm.
with no weapons at all, and it's a
You
battle
get a little
royale thing.
boned.
I like strategy games, and so when I see Jeff Holiday playing Dawn of War 3, which triggers me because if anyone ever sees me on Steam or seen the number of hours I've clocked in on all the Dawn of War games, they'll know I'm a bit of a fan. To see him on Dawn of War 3 streaming it, and I'm sending him messages repeatedly saying I will annihilate him the moment I get that game. And he's like, no, you won't. I've been playing strategy long. No, I will annihilate you. You and your pesky little oik army. I'll destroy you.
Yeah, I want to see. I've sunk 741 hours into Civ 5 apparently.
Oh, actually, if I go onto Steam, I think Dawn of War 2 Retribution. Here it is. 768 hours in Dawn of War 2 Retribution. Dawn of War 2, 268 hours. Team and Space Marine. Space Marine's at 311 hours. If I go back further, I could probably Civ 5. I've not played yet. I have the game, but I haven't played it.
I think
I
I've
need
sunk
to.
like 100 hours into Civ 6. And then
I've got
Solaris, like
total
240 hours. Crusader Kings.
My friend
Crusader
Magnus
Kings
bought me
540.
Nice. My friend Magnus got me Total War Warhammer, and I really want to play it. But my laptop can't handle it, so I have to wait until I can.
And so your
That
computer
should be
is
easy
not
enough.
a toaster.
Until it's no longer just a toaster, but a toaster that plays games.
My brother bought a Lenovo, something that had a 1050 in it. I think he spent like 600 on it.
That's not bad.
So like a desktop grade
I think
GPU
my
in
problem
it.
is, I mean, we were talking about desktops on Discord, and that's the
Yeah.
problem with that is, as small as it can be, my room is perpetually at this time of year in the sun. So for me, that is the stupidest thing I could do, and that's have a computer in that room, because no amount of thermal grease and fans will keep it cool.
I've wasted
That room turns.
3,694 hours on League of Legends, apparently. I don't know how accurate that is.
Oh god, I know somebody goes by the name Prince Judah, and she is obsessed with that game, and I don't get it. I just don't understand.
I've just been playing it a lot. I
So
started
you say
playing it.
3,000 hours.
Yeah, I don't know how accurate that is. I've been playing it for 5 years.
Okay, I mean,
Someone
that,
in the chat said
125 days.
Someone in the chat says play Dark Souls, you scrubs. Okay, I will as soon as I can be bothered to. Like never.
Let's try a different calculator.
I've got a fair few
Well,
hours on.
because it doesn't know all of the because each game could be different length, so it averages.
Well, it depends if the game has a completion criteria. Like if there's an obvious completion thing, and that's not just achievement based.
Well, League of Legends can be. You can have 15-minute games. You can have. I had a 2-hour game once.
Oh, that's not good.
No, it was terrible because nobody wanted to surrender because it was just. Yeah, this one says about 3,500 hours. So
That's not
I played
bad.
3,000 games of normals, 2,000 games of ARAMs, like 300 bot games, like when I was first playing it, and sometimes I play with lower level people when they're starting, and then it just goes down from there.
I don't know what to say to that, other than the embarrassing number of hours I've put into Euro Truck being more than 200. I really do get bored quite a lot.
so you're just gonna
By the way,
drive around.
It's not just the European one; it's also the American one. It's over 50 hours on that. I really don't.
Is it weird driving on the other side of the road?
No, because I actually base myself in continental Europe, so I drive on that side anyway. Only in England is the left side
Yeah.
thing.
So,
So it's
so
not
you're
weird
used
at all.
to it
It's just
already?
weird driving bigger. It's just weird driving bigger trucks.
Well, yeah, because the turning is very different.
Oh, I noticed the very first time I did that. I thought I turned early. I thought I'd slowed down enough. No. No, I drove up on the curve and swerved around a police car and drove between lampposts and a by a bus stop. It
I had
was
bought a
I
Logitech
thought
wheel a
Sorry?
little while ago, and I've been using that when I've been doing because I've been playing it myself as well as some other racing games with an actual steering wheel as opposed to steering a
Ah.
truck with a.
I would love to do some racing, like some Need for Speed. I used to play Need for Speed a lot, and I wished I had a steering wheel for that. That was always good fun to play as well.
I remember
Sure.
spending hours playing that when the first one came out.
I always loved 2 was a good one, and Most Wanted probably my 2 favorite.
That and what Metropolis Street Racer as well. I used to play a lot.
Mm. Well, if we're going to go back to good old-fashioned games that are quality and totally accurate, Road Rash. I mean, who didn't ride up next to somebody, nudge them, and take their nunchucks and start hitting them with them?
Accurate statement.
Right?
I don't know. I mean, I was quite lucky because when my dad was working, he used to own a company that supplied like arcades and pubs and like student unions with machines. So I used to go to work with him and just spend all day playing arcade games.
That's awesome.
Oh, that is pretty cool. We had an arcade near to where I grew up, but the only games they had some decent car games. But the only ones that I took notice of were like Time Crisis or House of the Living Dead.
House of the Dead.
Both first-person shooters.
Yeah.
And House of the Dead pissed me off. I did exactly what it hints you to do to kill the bosses on each level, and I never fucking got the kill.
I used to work in a cinema, well, actually in a bowling alley underneath a cinema, and after it all closed down, the guy who looked after the arcade would come along and just put in 50 credits. I think we had to put in like actually 200 credits. I think it was to complete the game, and we weren't shit. And this was 2 of us playing at the same time.
That's a lot of credits.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Machines like that are built to make money.
Oh, well, yeah.
I would love to play Time Crisis again, though. Except for the fact that you don't control your avatar, I guess. It was still kind of fun to just point and, yeah. It's nearest we get to guns.
There were console versions of it. And House of the Dead.
Yeah. I think there was.
Because I know I had House of the Dead with the gun.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might have been on the original PlayStation, though.
I remember having a gun control, and it had this thing you put above a television to sensor for it. And I was
talking about the NES,
probably, and it was just a piece of shit. I don't understand why it never worked. It was a load of crap.
Do you remember the?
I mean, at least they got better with the Wii.
Oh, the Wii.
Did you ever use the Super Scope on the Super NES?
No.
No, it was like a
Really,
like a rocket launcher type thing. They didn't bring out a handgun type thing for the Super NES. It was only the Super Scope. So it was a gun, but it had to move your whole body for it to work.
That sounds disturbing.
You didn't saw the Super Scope? Hang on, let me find a picture.
Yeah, find us a picture. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, we actually dragged our the NES out of the attic because my parents were like, "Oh wait, we have this thing up here." I was like, "Oh wow, you still have it."
I really liked the like Nintendo. I didn't mind them so much up until the Wii. The Cube was fine. You know, it was never going to keep up
Cube
with.
was probably one of their best
It was never going to be
systems.
able to keep up with like the Xbox One or PS3, but it was a good system. And obviously the N64, nobody complains about the N64. Let's face it.
But there's only one game that's good on the N64, and that was GoldenEye.
Well, Mario Kart wasn't bad.
Mario
GoldenEye was
Kart,
better
maybe.
though.
Well, yes, of course. Oh my god,
Mario
you
Kart
actually
ruined
have
friendships.
the Super Scope. Okay, hang on. Can I pull it up without any? Let's have a look.
Or maybe try to find a picture. If you just put Super Scope into Google.
It's fine. I've already saved the image to my desktop, so I'll just pull that up. I will screen share it. Give me a second. Yeah, that's
Rabba,
it.
rabba.
Rabba.
I think I've
There
got
we
a
go.
picture of me circa 1992
How's
with
this?
that on my shoulder.
Super Scope for the Super NES. Or SNES. Let's just call it the SNES for fuck's sake. It looks amazing.
It wasn't because it was just too big. You know, it had to shoulder mount the damn thing.
To be honest,
It looks huge, especially with like a little kid holding
oh,
it.
you know that kid had height issues. That was a midget holding that. Because that gun, if I put that on my shoulder now, I would look like a bell end.
I don't think it was aimed at fully grown people.
Probably not.
But annoyingly, only fully grown people would want to play that now.
True.
I tried to
Yeah,
introduce my over the weekend. I tried to introduce my niece and some of my sister's friends' kids to my Nerf gun. I have this thing called a CS6 deploy, and not one of them was interested in learning how to fire it. Only interested in smacking each other with the gun. I'm
like hitting each other over the head.
It's like when you tell kids, this is brilliant. I kept telling them because someone did. I've done this before myself because I'm a retard too. You fill the cart, you load it, and you cock it, and you look down the barrel to check if the chamber has only one dart in it. But your thumb is resting on the trigger, so you accidentally apply a little pressure and get a dart in the eyeball. No matter how many times I told these kids not to do that, they were there staring right down that barrel.
I don't think I was ever that stupid.
I mean, I was drunk when I did it, so I have an excuse. But what's their excuse?
Yeah, I don't
But
think
yeah,
I
they
was
like
ever
smack each
that
other with
retarded
guns.
as a kid.
Nerf guns are amazing, by the way. Everyone should have
They
Nerf
are.
guns.
Nerf guns are wonderful.
I have a Nerf Jolt right next to me. It's like I sort of think of it as like the cricket from Men in Black. Yeah, it fires further than my big Nerf gun, which is great because I have it next to me because the dogs sometimes disobey, and if they do and they're up the garden like maybe chasing a cat, I will fire a warning shot and it will reach them, which is about 75, maybe 80 yards away from the back door, and it will get to
They're
them.
actually scared by it and just don't try and go eat it.
No, they won't try and eat it, and they won't when I forget to go and pick it up either because, well, I have like a whole pack of 30 next to me. My sister
So
bought me some the other day, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to do so much damage.
Oh my god! I've just watched the Super Scope commercial, and it looks like an ISIS training video.
I think we need to watch this.
What I want to
now.
know is right is if people are like shouting. If you can maybe dub it with.
You just have to watch
You want to
it.
dub it with people shouting, "Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar!"
Honestly,
We need to see this now.
oh, maybe I'll just share my screen. Hang on. Oh, how do I do it again? All right.
The
I don't
green
know.
thing on the left side.
Oh yeah. Is that the one there? That's the one.
And I'll present you to everyone as well, so you can screen share this. All right.
Okay, if I get back, yeah.
Okay, you won't get much noise, but oh my!
God. Oh my god.
What? Wow! I'm sorry.
Without sound, that is wrong looking.
Yeah, I can see this being an ISIS training video.
Amazing.
Ah,
The best play here with ISIS for Allah. Amazing. So I'll copy the link. I'll stick it in the chat if anyone's interested in checking it out. Brilliant.
That's hilarious.
I wasn't expecting that at all.
Oh yeah, am I still presenting you to everyone? Stop presenting. There we
No.
go.
Cool.
Oh, dear, oh dear. I do remember some of the really gay accessories for video games. That one's probably one of my favorites now. Then again, most of the gayest ones I can think of, the lamest, were from the Nintendo Wii.
Oh, but all the attachments for like a golf club or a tennis racket.
Tennis racket. Yeah. Oh my god. Did you ever see anyone play that, right? That tennis game? And they actually would grunt as they took a swing. I could never get my head around this. I've sat and played with friends and they have actually like gotten worn out to the point where they start going, it's very
So it's
disturbing.
just on the Wii.
Yeah, you can play tennis with it.
Oh yeah, just
I have a
I-
Vive and I've played Audio Shield. That can get tiring at the higher difficulties because you're moving around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of bouncing back and forth.
Well, I always wondered with the virtual reality games, because I've seen a few people play those, and I'm like, you need a big empty room to be able to play any of that without.
Not all of them.
Something. But there's I saw
Some of
Cult
them you need
Dusty
space
playing
to
a
move
playing a
around.
fighting game, and he was in a bar and he was just punching people really badly. I might add.
Is it the HTC Vibe that has the area that you can move around? I think, the PlayStation one and that you're static, aren't you?
I think Oculus Rift as well. I don't quote me on that. I can't remember, but yeah, Vive is. I know definitely because I own it. That's the one that I use. It was just the best at the time. It still kind of is, in my opinion, anyway. But there's certain games like the Star Trek Bridge Crew Simulator that just came out like 3 days ago, where there's no moving at all, and you're just sitting the entire time because you're sitting at a station or whatever. But something like Audio Shield, I think there is a standing room option, or a standing only option, but then you can switch back and forth between room and basically standing in place. But you can create the rooms to have different sizes and shapes too. Like the way that my room is set up, it's not a perfect rectangle with the space. It's like a weird shape that I can't really describe. There's a few edges to it, but it's enough.
It does sound really cool. I really want to give it a go because I'm completely blind in one eye, so I don't know how well it'll work. Because obviously my depth perception's screwed.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see what happens.
I'm really intrigued to see if it will actually work.
I want you to set up a camera, and not because I want to mock someone who's just disabled, but because it would be quite.
Because you're not a terrible person.
Yeah, I'm not a bad man, really. But seriously. You could have TV shows where if people made a tit of themselves, you could send a video in and you get £250 for it.
Oh, American
I'm just
Funny
saying.
Videos type thing? Or
We used to call it
Whatever
something
your
else.
version would be.
You've been framed or something?
Yeah.
With Jeremy Beadle.
yeah, we have American
And
Funny
I think,
Videos.
I say this as a gentleman, that you with VR flailing around and falling all over would be hilarious.
Oh, I would find it funny. I would probably be the first person laughing.
I'd do it. I'd upload it on the pretense that I got to comment on it first. I just want to be noticed.
There's a lot of competition online for that, though. There's a lot of videos of people using those VR headsets, old people, and then like falling over and
Oh yeah,
or
'cause there's some funny ones.
overreacting to stuff they
Can't
see.
laugh at old people falling over because I worry they're going to break their hip.
Yeah, they're
At
more
least
prone
with
to do
people
that.
my age, with our age range anyway. If any of us fall over, we're not going to. Well, okay, maybe one of us might,
I probably
but
would.
most
break
of us aren't
my
going to break something.
Not going to need to go to the hospital.
If I fall over, I'm just going to laugh because it's always funny.
I have not had I haven't had any like bounce issues or anything. It's just like there's sometimes in certain if there's a big brightness difference, like when I was playing Elite Dangerous, that like the orange or whatever color you use for your ship overlay compared to the darkness of space, you can see A little bit of God rays is what they call them, but that's just typical in the VR lens.
Yeah. Well, I used to have this thing where, because I've got quite big feet, if I walk upstairs, I can't walk up with my foot pointing the way it should point when you go up the step. I have to point it slightly sideways. If
That's
I
annoying.
forget this on the way down, though, I will slip and slide and bounce all the way down to the floor.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Well, I figure at this point, I just can't be bothered to prevent this from happening. And it's happened quite a few times. I've slipped and up the stairs as well, which is even worse.
Yeah.
I've done that with a bowl of cereal in my hands. I've chinned the step. I'm like, oh, I've just wasted my Cocoa Pops, you cunt.
I shouldn't laugh, but people falling over is
Oh, no,
really funny.
It's always funny. I used to do it a lot because when I was younger, I used to kind of drag my feet. So I trip over. Even now, actually, I do trip over a little. But I always try and make it. You know, those people who catch their foot on one of the tiles on the floor, and they try to look. They do it, and they stumble, and then they try and fob it off as if they're all sort of graceful. Really,
I've done that
That's
many
right.
times in the past.
yes, but you have an ever so slightly better excuse than the person with full vision who's dragging their feet.
Even before I lost my sight, I'm just clumsy.
Yeah. I don't think I'm the same person who has rode into a street sign and gone over the handlebars
Ooh.
and slid on snow. It's fine. Snow was like the last time we ever had snow in this country.
You guys are never going to see snow again.
If we do, we'll just get accused of being racist.
White power.
And there's only so many times I can write my name in the snow. Who doesn't like lemon flavored snow?
Tasty.
Have you ever known anyone to fall for that? Because I have.
I
Kids believe anything.
Such a nice uncle.
No. When I was younger, damn, I wouldn't do it as an adult. Fucking hell! Oh my god, that'd be the most bastard thing I could ever get away with. I live in an area where there's a massive park outside my house, and if that thing had snow all over it, I would honestly, I would probably, yeah, okay, I would actually tell kids it's not in snow. I would do that. I don't really care too much. They're not my kids. I wouldn't tell my nieces or nephew. Just them. Just the strangers. Yeah, look at that lemon. Look at that. We got rare lemon snow. The bad man. Worth it.
You bad tentacle man.
I honestly, it's worth it.
Yeah, well, we didn't get any snow. Or no, we got a little bit in February. I can't remember. There was. I attempted to go into work, and it was just terrible. And then I said screw it, and then I went back. And somebody who lives because I work in Camden, and that's right next to. It's on the other side of the river from Philly. One of my coworkers. He's commutes into there from Camden, but the Camden Lockheed was fine. However, where they have like all of the servers and stuff at the other building lost power like a few times over, so they couldn't do any work that day.
Our seasonal
So
cycle somewhat is a bit off, so our winter doesn't really start when it's supposed to. Like I think it was a couple of years ago, snow didn't start until March. Whereas around this time this year, certainly last year and this year, it's been pretty dismal. A friend of mine in Detroit, West Michigan or something like that, they had snow up until very recently, and they were sending me pictures of it, and I'm like, I want that snow.
Yeah, upstate New York gets a lot of snow early compared to the rest of, or like up there, up New York, Vermont, New Hampshire.
I don't get how New York gets snow. I just don't get it.
It's mountainous. I don't know.
The concrete abyss.
Oh no, New York State, not New York City. Upstate New York.
Right.
Yes, the not pompous fucks of the city. out in the country.
That makes more sense.
New York
now.
City barely gets anything. But when they do, they can't handle it because they're sitting.
And yet in TV shows, they like to play it off as if it snows every year and is magical. So
Yeah.
romantic. Dude, all
Agree.
that snow in New York would be totally yellow.
All the yellow snow.
All the yellow. They get all of it. Like San Francisco gets all the fart smelling snow. Because it's full of smug.
Yeah, that's a true statement.
Hmm But I've heard of Camden. I think wasn't My Name Is
Camden, New
Earl
Jersey.
wasn't My Name Is Earl set in Camden or something?
I don't know what.
TV show My Name Is Earl.
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh my god, that's like one of the best shows ever.
My name is
Awesome.
Earl.
Yeah, My Name Is Earl.
Yeah,
Earl J. Hickey.
Jason
I guess I
Lee,
just
wasn't it?
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
I just
The
didn't watch
Scientologist. I have to
let's
point
go to the
that out.
Wikipedia
That's
page.
even funnier. He looks amazing with a mustache as well.
Rural County of Camden. I don't know if that's Camden, New Jersey or not.
Oh, okay.
Because we
that
have a
doesn't
lot of different Camdens in this country. Because
You have
let
a
me
lot
go
of
take a look.
different.
We have Camden, Alabama, Arkansas, California, Delaware, Illinois, Indiana, Maine, Michigan, Minneapolis, Missouri, Jersey.
Wow. So rehashing the same thing and distributing it everywhere else as if it's original is just something America does then, like Hollywood and all their movies, right?
I mean, a bunch of counties in New Jersey are stolen from England. Like we have Essex County, Middlesex
all know
County.
We all know why it was stolen. They're just appropriating our culture, the culture we supposedly don't have.
And then, I mean, our state is named after an island that you guys have somewhere in the channel.
No, it's in the Channel Islands. It's actually not anywhere near us. It's now near mid-south France on the side. It's one of the it's like 6 Channel Islands there are. I'm surprised you don't have a state called Guernsey, one called Sark, maybe Lithu, Alderney, Herm. You can name all your states after the Channel Islands if you want. They're all a pile of shit, and I want to nuke them when I'm in power. I'm not a big fan of the Channel Islands.
Any particular reason?
I don't know. I'll have to
He
try and
just
remember
doesn't.
why. Because reasons. Is that not enough?
This is feelings.
Actually, I do remember going to uni with a few people from Guernsey, and they were bragging about how good their lives were. Because obviously they come from an area where they live in tax havens. Most of their families there are quite wealthy. I'm like, I want you to burn. You didn't even have to pay to go to uni. They got grants and bursaries. I just want your country to burn. Yes, I will burn your country.
I don't know. Being a tax
At least,
haven is
at
reason
least your
enough.
policies are straightforward.
I'm consistent. Honestly, I'm consistent. I really wanted to trigger people with my consistent policies. I'd say Nazis and vegans first. To die. But as one of my patrons is a vegan, I'm going to say, but him. He can live for now.
Politics. We have our New Jersey has our primary tomorrow for both the Democrat and the Republican candidates. There's like 12 people running or something.
I heard the most amazing news ever. Right, wrestler Kane is running for mayor of one of the cities in Tennessee, I believe.
Really? What? Like which Kane though?
Glenn Jacobs, the
Right. Yeah.
Kane.
No, I know who you mean. Yeah.
He's running for mayor in one of the places in Tennessee, and I was like, that's amazing.
Oh, I saw him wrestling
I've forgotten
years
the name of the
ago.
bloody town as well. I feel really shitty now. Kane running for. I know wrestler Rhino is running for a congressional seat, Knox County. Sorry, he's running for mayor of Knox County. There's a wrestler called Rhino running for a mayor position, I believe, in Michigan as well. That's full. But yeah, that's interesting. See, wrestlers getting into politics. Fakers in the ring, fakers in politics.
I know, but WWE was good.
It was when I do sort of have a soft spot for a lot of it because I grew up on wrestling and,
did.
or as my friends call it, I've mentioned multiple times, gay porn.
Yeah,
And
I
I really enjoyed.
I went to see it live at the O2 about 8-9 years ago.
Mm.
Oh, it's fantastic. But I'm happy I got
I've
to
been a
see Undertaker. So,
Yeah, I've seen him a couple of times. It was brilliant to go. And I sort of like I yeah, it was fun. But there are some eras of it I'm not so happy with. Let's just go with any of the major time. Let's go with the entire time John Cena has been the main event star.
yes, I will agree with you
can
there.
brag about being 16 or 17-time world champion, but you know what that tells me? You've lost 15 times.
Oh, he's just a twat. I've never
You're not a
liked
natural
him.
born winner. You're, if anything, a natural born loser
He's just persistent.
who sells a lot of very colourful t-shirts.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. For some reason, the fans absolutely love him.
I mean, he's owned most of the abuse. He's one of those guys where he gets the abuse and you have to love it because rather than letting it bother him, people, like when he got Fruity Pebbles insults hurled at him, what did he do? He got a sponsorship.
Yeah.
He owned it.
Yeah, he
Or the
embraces it.
John, let's go Cena sucks. He doesn't care.
No.
Why? Because he makes millions a year.
He knows that he's better than you.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck him. Right. I think Irate Bear is begging me to go stream with him. So I'm going to end this here, if that's okay.
That's fine. I have to leave it in like 20 minutes anyway.
Yeah, what I'm doing is I'm going to turn up in the stream, call him a cunt, and then go to bed. So, yeah.
Mm.
I'm stopping this now. Bye-bye, everyone in the chat.